All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, this is a Mojo Call. Mojo Calls are quick hits for your brain, a checkup from the neck up, as Stacy said. I think she stole that from Zig Ziglar. But today we're going to be talking about our event we went and saw with Tony Robbins. As you know, Tony Robbins, well, if you don't know who he is, I'm going to share the screen right here. Tony Robbins is this amazing, he's not a guru. He does not like being called a guru. He's just an amazing person in teaching you over the last 45 years. He's been doing this, how to change your mental state, how to change your physical state to change your mental state. And I'm going to give you some of the AHAs I got. Look, 15 minutes is not going to be enough to even really scratch all the stuff we got. He does these 4-day events, 14 hours long, 4-day back-to-back events. In fact, Stacey and I are going to be attending this November. And to really get in and help people change their lives. It's really a boot camp, almost like a military style workshop is a better thing. It's not really a lecture, it's a workshop. He has you doing all kinds of stuff, but he's great. If you've never heard of him, I was surprised how many people on Facebook said, I've never heard of Tony Robbins. I was shocked. I thought everybody had. He's donated almost $1 billion with a B, billion meals. He is a billionaire now. Started off very poor with his story, but anyways, he has all kinds of resources. He has free resources you can use. I love the fact that he pretty much gives away everything he has, but then he also has paid stuff. One of the things you can check out is his podcast, and I would recommend it here. Anyways, go to TonyRobbins.com. Let's get into it. This came from the Build conference that Stacey and I went to. And one thing I want to say real quick is Stacey and I are going to be much more intense at encouraging AKA badgering you to attend the events. We got so much out of it. And yes, was it an inconvenient time to go? Yes, it was inconvenient. Stacy had 14 closings in August. In fact, while we were there, she had 4 closings happen while we were there. She had 25 different showings that were done to 4 different clients. She wrote 6 offers while we were there and put 1 buyer in contract and had 1 open house. So yes, we were busy. We had a lot going on, but we know the power of these events and what it can do to transform your life, your health, your wealth, your business, your interpersonal relationships. It's absolutely a must that you need to go. And let's see if I recorded. Yeah, it does say I'm recording. Good. All right, perfect. So yeah, we were busy. Yes, we know it costs money. Yes, look, it costs us twice as much money, because there's 2 of us, so we get it. It is an investment in your business, but here's the thing we know about the market that is going to be shifting, or arguably after going to this event, I would say it's already shifted. The market has already shifted. You have to invest in yourself when there's a market shift, or you will be as what they call the real estate cemetery. The real estate cemetery, those are the realtors that don't make it if you don't invest in yourself. And so I'm just gonna go over a couple of things that were on here, keep it nice, short, and sweet. You can invest in some more. If you hear anything in particular that you liked, I did do an audio recording of everything there. Obviously not being there and seeing the intensity that's there and seeing the slides and things like that, it won't be as amazing for you, but I'd be willing to share that with you. If you want, you just reach out to me and I will get it over to you. Again, it's the audio portion of it. So here's the thing. You can transform your life and have all this wealth and things like that, but if you don't have health, if you don't have your health, nothing else matters. And it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire if you're sick all the time, or if you're going to die very soon, right? And so one of the big things they focused on there, and I'm gonna be looking down at my notes, by the way. I took an entire, almost half a booklet full of notes being there, was health. And so one of the first things they started off with on health was a guy they called Gary Brecka. I'm not going to get into everything he does because YouTube will ban this video. But here's the thing. All the leaders of EXP, I got my EXP hat on, are losing weight and getting healthy. I'm like, what did everybody do? Did they go get gastric bypasses or what? The answer was they had this genetic test done. Genetic testing where you can get done, where make a real short portion of this in 30 seconds. There are 5 genetic markers. We have mapped the entire genetic human genome. We know 5 genetic markers that will make you predisposed to certain things. For example, do you have a problem gaining weight? I do. Do you love sugar? I do. Do you get pleasure from eating sweets and sugary foods? I do. Yes. Actually, 44% of the human population has this genetic defect, and there's certain ways you can beat it. It's not the fact you like the sugar, it's the fact that you like the dopamine that sugar gives you. And there are certain nutrients you can feed your body that you have to do a higher dosage of these nutrients to get the pleasure receptors in your brain set. Anyways, genetic testing, get it done. Let us know if you want to know more about it. We'll get you on that. I didn't want to take more than 30 seconds on that. But one of the main things they talked about was health. You got to have your health. If you have your health, you have nothing. Then as a bonus, they bring on a guy named Dean Graziosi. If you don't know who Dean, I freaked out. He was a surprise guest. I freaked out when he was on there. He's actually Tony Robbins' partner. But Dean Graziosi, he wrote the book Millionaire Success Habits, puts a lot of other books. He's a billionaire. In fact, in the crash between 2007 and 2009, he bought 1,000 houses. 1,000 houses at an average of $100,000, and a billionaire. Just like that, he's a multi-billionaire now because the houses have all gone up in value, right, since the crash. So he had a bunch of great stuff for us. Here's a couple of them right here. First of all, you're going to need to step up the love during these hard times. We're going to change our messaging, the art of our messaging. Let me know if you want the audio on this. I'll get it for you. You need to have your clients make them feel understood. They're going through specific challenges and things like that. The news media is so negative. Everybody's going to be feeling terrible. We need to be the Dr. Feelgood. I'm taking that from Motley Crue. We saw the Motley Crue concert while we were there. You need to measure your marketing results obsessively. And then we need to get straight with our goals. First of all, we need to understand where you're at and where we want to go. He had all kinds of exercises for work on that. This was a little bonus they put on top of Tony Robbins. People pay thousands of dollars to see Dean Graziosi, and that was included in the price of this ticket. And Tony Robbins, Build 22, they do it every year. They call it Build 22 because it's 2022. Build 23 is in August of next year. You need to go and get your deposit set for that and go to Build 23 next year. You have to go to the events. If you're going to grow your business, you have to grow you. And that was great. So that was Dean Graziosi. He came out. I was flipping out. I couldn't believe that. You could have ended the, you could have been in the event on the first day. Everything that we got from all these different players. There was agents up there closing 2,000 houses a year. Ballers, just absolute ballers, and nothing like we have in our market here in Columbus. I mean, just big time crushers. And that's the beautiful part about EXP is agents helping agents, the collaboration that we have, giving away all their secrets, right? Being willing to sit down with you and talk to you. You can meet up with them on our workplace. This is not an advertisement for EXP, so I'm going to stop right there. But I was just amazed at all the stuff they were giving out. That was not just a mindset event and not just an event to teach you how to recruit, but it was an event that taught production. And Stacey and I changed some things massively in our business. In an instant, while we were there, we realized our aha came in, and that was this. We're not investing enough in our business while everybody else is going to kind of pull back during this market balancing, this market correction, this shift that has occurred. We need to invest in our business, and we found some really great tools to do that, and we're off and running. Okay, let's get to Tony Robbins. That's what this was about. We've already spent 9 minutes talking about the opening acts for Tony Robbins. Let's get in there. So Tony Robbins, I already showed you the website on TonyRobbins.com, is he loves real estate. And the great thing about coming to a real estate event is when you go to his normal events, he's talking to plumbers, bakers, salespeople, school teachers, stay-at-home moms, all the different stuff, college people, right? Here, he's just talking to realtors. And so every story he had, every anecdote, every piece of advice was geared towards us in the real estate industry. And I love that EXP leaders invest in something like this. And so Brent Go, if you see this, thank you for putting on that event. What a baller you are. 20,000 people in your downline and just killing it. You have Tony Robbins come, you get dinner with him. Amazing, right? So one of the mindsets shifts that I put big boxes around on here is this. When there's something that needs to be done, you can either have an attitude that I have to do it, or you have an attitude that I get to do it. And that's very important to differentiate in that. And it's very important for us as real estate agents when we get to the end of our careers. Are we going to be selling real estate because we have to? Or are we going to be selling real estate because we get to? Which person do you want to be? Do you want to be the have to person, where you're being driven, where you have to, and it's a grind? Or are you going to be the person who gets to get to? Well, I know if you're with EXP, you're a person who's going to get to, because we're going to build your business, you're going to build net worth, and you're going to have a residual income coming in from the revenue share. So that's great. I love that. I put a big box around that. It's an instant attitude shift. Oh man, I have to do this. How about this? Oh man, I get to do this. It's an instant attitude shift on the same thing that needs to be done. I love that. One of the big things Tony was talking about is, look, all the fear that's going on out there in the marketplace because of the news media is driven to instill fear in us and to get us to keep our eyes glued or to click their clickbait head titles or things like headlines, things like that. He said this is how you can grow your real estate business. We should be influencing our clients and not the other way around. What does that mean? We have to get the good word out. And I got a great tool if you want to use it that's got graphs and things done for you where you can make your own social media posts and stuff like that. Hit me up on it. I'll get you set up with it. I don't have the exact website with me right now. I'd give it to you. Hit me up on private message and I'll give you the website they said we should be using where it's got all the data done for you. You just get on, you hit click and you do your own video and it's got all the slides and everything like that. And it's all done for you, the script and everything. Pretty cool. But that way you're influencing your clients. Data driven, data over fear. We need to be using data to decide what's going to be coming and doing some anticipation. We're going to talk about that in a second. Be a person of influence. Now, you don't have to be influenced on the national scale. That was one thing he said. Look, with real estate, you can be a huge baller in a small town, a small city. Columbus is huge, obviously, right? But maybe you don't live in Columbus, maybe you live outside Columbus. You be the influencer there. You be the voice of reason, somebody who's influencing clients. You become a local celebrity. How? Through social media, right? And we talk about that. Be a person of influence. Make people feel good so that they understand. When people have the data, they feel good, okay? Here's one thing he said with what's coming to us. If you look for what is wrong, you will always find it. So he said that it's in everything, your work, your life, your finances, your relationships. If you look for what's wrong, you're going to find it. So maybe you need to look for what's right? Some gratitude. He said that he talked to Warren Buffett about what's coming or what has happened, right, with the market shift and what's coming in other economic pieces of the United States. And Warren Buffett said this: the best way to beat inflation, because inflation is going to be monster, is to invest in your own skills. How do you do that? You get a coach, you get a you start delving into the 40,000 hours of EXP recorded trainings from baller agents that are out there just crushing it. 40,000 recorded hours that you can tap into. That's amazing. You have all of that, but invest in your own skills. You're going to need to get skill-based. And Stacey's not going to be harping on that a bunch. Jim Rohn said this: if you're hanging on to what was, it is an anchor. Here's what we know. The real estate market has been super easy for the last 10 years. A trained monkey could sell houses, basically, right? If they were able to put a sign in the yard, they were able to sell houses. So this is going to be important for this shift, not to hang on to what was, because that's an anchor. Just know things have changed. They're going to continue to change. Forget about what was and concentrate on what's coming, okay? Influence others by finding out what influences them. Understand this for you: your biography is not your destiny. What has ever happened to you in the past has nothing to do with your destiny. What your last month was has nothing to do with what your next month will be, right? You could zero out 6 months in a row and have 10 closings in a month, okay? So your biography is not your destiny. Just know that there are patterns. Your patterns will create habits. And again, he does days and days and days in a row of these seminars. So I'm just breezing over this stuff. Again, if you want the audio, hit me up. But there are seasons. One of the patterns you have to learn to recognize is seasons. Now, there are seasons in your life, and the seasons are spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? Springtime is 0 to 20. Your age when you're born till you're 20 years old. Springtime is party time, right? Everything's carefree. People are taking care of you. Summer is 21 to 40, right? In that age range, somewhere around there. That's kind of the summer, right? That's when you're starting to get things going and things are coming around, right? You may have some burn you have to watch out for. And then fall, the harvest time, right, is from 41 to 60. That's when you make a big majority of your money. And then the winter time of your life is going to be your 60s and your 80s. And then hopefully with this new health stuff they're talking about, into your hundreds that people are going to be living. That's the winter time in your life. That's when you use that time of fall, the reaping season, to put some money away for that. Understanding seasons in your life is important to know where you're at in your life and where you're going. Why? Because when you're 18, you don't want to be discouraged that you're not a millionaire, right? That's going to take some seasons until you get there, right? And it's going to take time, but you're going to have to work to get there. Okay, perfect. Now, also, there are seasons of business and seasons of history. For example, one of the seasons he gave that was that happened before 100 years ago was this. You had the winter time, which was World War I. Right after that, you had, after the war ended, you had a springtime where people were excited, they were celebrating, they were partying. And that was the 1920s, the roaring 20s, when people, they called them flappers and stuff like that, people that were partying. And then what happened? You had people working hard, right? And reaping during the 20s, making a ton of money. And then what happened? You had winter hit again, right? You had the Great Depression hit and World War II. And then what happened after that? Springtime came again. And it was the 1950s, and people raised their families. And again, it repeated cycles. Why is that important? Because if you watch, there's cycles going on right now, right? What cycle are we heading into? What cycle has it been? I dare say that we have experienced the fall season the last 10 years with real estate, where it was reaping time, man, just making tons and tons and tons and tons of money. And we're going to enter into a more of a winter type scenario. Why do you want to know that? Because look, you don't need to be scared. Does the winter always come? Yes. Does it always end? Yes. Does it seem long sometimes when it's cold and there's snow going on? Yes, but it always ends, and there is always springtime after it. Now, it's important to know that during the springtime or during the winter time, you don't die. You just have to work a little harder, right? Things are a little tougher, and it's okay. You will survive the winter and get into the spring. That's great. Okay, so that seasons part is great to keep in mind, especially when things are going on, and learn to anticipate. Look, you have to learn to anticipate what's coming. And here's the great thing. Glenn Sanford has set us up for success. Glenn Sanford's a genius. He anticipated back in 2009 that brick and mortar was going to go by the wayside. Think about the foresight it took. Back then, one of the big deals of where the brokerage you chose was what the office space looked like. What's the office space look like? What am I going to be able to get brick and mortar and things like that? And Glenn anticipated that they were going to go by the wayside. People told him it was crazy. He was right. And as we move into this winter part, brokerages that are hanging on to the past, which is that old brick and mortar, for some of them, it's going to be an anchor, and they're going to crash and burn. And it's going to happen right now. Why do I tell you that? Because there are opportunities, and that's what Tony kept talking about the whole time, is in every type of crisis is a terrible word. I don't use crisis. A season of winter, there is an opportunity, and we're going to have opportunities with these independent brokerages. They are either going to have to go out and spend millions or billions of dollars to recreate the wheel and get out from under the biggest anchor around their neck, which is all of that office space, right? Hanging on to the past. It's an anchor. Or they're just going to need to join up with us. They don't have to recreate the wheel, and they can build their business inside our business and keep their branding. So it's going to be a huge opportunity for all of us, as agents and brokerages and teams are going to have to flock to EXP as this tightening of the market, balancing is a better word, balancing of the market, getting back to a normal real estate market where the house doesn't sell with 17 offers in one day, where it actually takes 30, 60, gasp, 90 days for a listing to sell. It's coming, right? We're going to have that. And the great news about it is this is not a 2008. We have a complete, it's apples and oranges. In 2008, we had too many houses, not enough people. We're still in a position right now where there's too many people and not enough houses. So we're going to continue to see appreciation go up, but we are not going to see 17 offers in 3 hours for one property. It's just not going to happen unless the agent grossly under prices it. Okay. Yeah, boy, I've been going a long time. I'm going to wrap this up. Got a bunch more Tony Robbins, but let's see. Your state. You have to understand how to change the state that you're in when you're feeling fearful, when you're feeling any type of negative. And the way you change your state, the fastest way you do it is change your body. Change your physical. And again, you have to go into Tony if you like all this, but you can change it instantly. You don't have to have a bad day. You ever said to somebody, man, I'm having a bad day? No, you can shrink it down to a bad minute. I'm having a bad minute, boom. And you can snap your state out by changing your physical position and your movement and things like that. And one of the things he taught us that I thought was great for real estate is we have to be able to change the state of our clients. When they're taking their eye off the ball, when they're forgetting the end goal in mind, and they're getting, everybody's all upset. Everybody in the deal's all upset over $500 difference, or squabbling over it. Everybody wants to kill the deal over $500. You're going to have to be able to, this is going to be a skill set you're going to develop. You have to be able to change everyone's state, change it, change their mindset, and get everybody back on track, right? There's 17 different moving parts to a real estate transaction. Any one of them can kill your deal. And you're going to get skill-based at that as we continue to move forward and as real estate becomes more normal, back to the old school ways of doing some real estate, okay? So that was great. Change your focus. Your focus, what you focus on has your feeling. So you're going to need to know how to focus. So what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on what you have or what is missing in your life? Are you focusing on what you can control? None of us can control what the Fed does. None of us can control what the government's doing at the top levels. We can only control what we can control, and that is our messaging and our focus and how we're making people feel. And then focus on your present and future. Don't focus on the past. Don't sit there thinking about how it used to be. There's going to be a lot of realtors commiserating about, as it gets tougher, it's still going to be easy, but as it's tougher than it was. They're going to be thinking about the past. Oh my gosh, remember what it was like 2 years ago? Those people are going to be dead meat. You got to focus on present right now and the future and stay sharp and rocking and rolling with it. So that's going to be great. A great way, by the way, to change someone's state is to ask them a question, to get them back on the ball and keep them on track. Again, this is trainings with Tony you'll have to take on this. He talked about brand consistency. There's an incredible brand, EXP. We have incredible core values. You want to build out those core values. You want to market those core values and create an experience for people. And this is the end, and I'll wrap up with this. Tons more, but this is where we're going to go. You need to be able to answer this question. As real estate, look, the agent count is up there. There's lots of agents. And as the number of transactions shrinks a little bit, I didn't say stops, I said shrinks a little bit, you're going to have to be able to answer this question. Why are you the best? If someone asks you that, and Tony put some people on the spot, boy, out in the audience, went up to him and said, why are you the best? And in front of 6,000 other realtors, stuck a microphone in their face and said, tell us why you're the best. He said, who's the best? Raise your hand. People raised their hand. I knew better than to volunteer because I knew it was coming. and he put them on the spot. Why are you the best? And they stumbled, fumbled, bumbled. He goes, there's 5,999 other realtors in here. Why should I choose you to do business with? And you have to be able to answer that question. And what most agents say is, I provide superior customer service. My clients love me. I'm going to take great care of you. And all of that's bullshit. All of that stuff is just mumbo jumbo bullshit that every agent says. Because when you say you're the best at customer service, what do you think your competitor says? They say they're the best too. So one of the exercises he had us do was write up why you're the best. Again, you have to take the class on it to go through that exercise, but he spent like 45 minutes on this, on why are you the best? Why should someone choose you? Like in Columbus, there's 10,000 other choices somebody could have. Why would they pick you? Because people are going to ask that. Why should I choose you as my realtor? Why are you the best? You better be able to answer it like that. No stumbling, mumbling, fumbling, and you need to make that your message and you need to market it. A little hint, and then I wrap up with this. He would answer it like this. Tony would answer the question like this. I may not be the best for you. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking for, and then we will sit down and determine if I'm the best fit and if we should work together. Answer the question with a question, and then take whatever they say and build your image around that and why you're going to be best at serving that need of what it is they're looking for. So, well, thank you for jumping on. That's the world's longest mojo call. I went way over. I got a ton more of Tony Robbins. Again, I've got the audio, so if you want it, hit me up on there on private message, and I can send you over the audio so you can check it out. But you'll want to attend these events. As you can tell, Stacy and I are jacked up. It changed our lives. Literally, just these sessions. First session we sat in, changed it. And I'm like, I'm ready to go home now. I got to figure it out. And we went for 3 days over it. And it was incredible. The next chance you're going to have to come to grow like that's going to be EXPCon in Vegas coming up. You definitely want to go. I know it's going to be an inconvenient time. I know it's going to cost you money. You're going to have to invest in your business, which is you, if you don't want to be in the realtor cemetery. And here's the deal. Some of you are going to end up there if you don't invest. It's a hard fact. That's not to scare you. That's just to prepare you. You're going to have to invest yourself. So come to EXP Con with us. It's going to be great. Share a room. Get a roommate. You don't need to have your own room yourself. We're not in the rooms ever except for just basically to sleep a little bit, sleep and shower. That's it. It's Vegas, baby. We're going to be awake and we're going to be having a great time. We're going to be learning a ton. We're going to be hanging out together. We sit together, we eat together, and party together. It's going to be a blast, and it will change your business forever. You're going to need to be as sharp as you've ever been as this market shifts. And so thank all of you for watching us and joining us on this journey. Anything you want to add, Stacy? Don't let their state affect your state. The way other people are feeling, don't let that affect yours. You're a person of influence. You influence them, not the other way around. That was great. All right, everybody have a great one. I'm going to stop the recording.